can't really put that into comedy. You can't be like, the best of times and the worst of times. It's kind of like saying, when I was 7 years old, I got all the ice cream I could eat. But boy, did I get raped a lot. You can't really put in that earnest, that emotion into your comedy. You gotta just kind of talk to people while you're on their phones. What kind of phone is that? Is it cool? What is that? It's an iPhone? These things are awesome. It's like living in Star Trek now. Like, have you seen the Google Voice? These things are wonderful. Like, you can just ask it a question. Be like, what's the movie with the thing and the thing and the other thing? Be like, thing? Fuck, that was it. It knows everything. Is this thing even on? Should I just even use this? Well, this is such a hip place, too. Like, I'm not a hip person, so I feel all awkward up here. Such a hip place. I mean, like, to use a men's room, you got cosplay as Xena, Warrior Princess. Anyone who's used the restroom got that joke. No, I'm just not a hip person. I'm a PK, real conservative Christian, and so like religion is very interesting to me, especially Christianity. Like, I always felt bad for Joseph, right? I did feel bad for Joseph because for the rest of his life, he's got, every time he makes love to Mary, he's like, hey, so baby, how was it? She's like, oh, it was good. I mean, you're no God or anything, but hey, it was pretty good. How do you compete with that? You cannot follow that act. It's kind of how I feel tonight. It's Christianity always interests me. Like, I always wondered, so Mary had an immaculate birth, right? There were no penises involved there. So does that mean she lost her virginity to her son? Because it would have been the first penis in there, right? Now, a lot of people are like, well, that was a birth, right? That was a birth. And I'll give you that. But later in life, Jesus said, I am the Lord thy God, right? And so that means that Jesus was a motherfucker. He was his own father. That takes finesse. That takes skill. That is a miracle. And all you guys are not giving him credit for it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying about Jesus. Great guy. I feel all creepy up here with everybody looking at me. I've been trying to be more creepy. Because chicks dig me. Woo! You do. I mean, it's a very fine line between sexy and creepy. And all it is how attractive you are. I mean, like, when someone comes along, you've heard your girlfriend say, that guy has been staring at me all night. He's so creepy. And then they've also said the same thing. That guy has been staring at me all night. He is so hot. It's a very fine line. And it's a very fine line between sexy creepy and just normal creepy. Like, here's normal creepy. My pockets are full of candy. Now that's creepy, but here's sexy creepy. Don't take this the wrong way, but my pockets are full of candy. So what's the difference? One's funny, and funny is always attractive. It is. Sexy creepy. I don't know, this is like I was talking about, like, this is such a hip place, like, are there any gay people in the crowd? Like, one? Okay. All right.
Gotcha!
I've got a lot of gay friends now, like as I've gotten older. And, which is unique for me, because I grew up so sheltered. And so I have a friend of mine that he was working out here. Anybody heard of Renegades? You guys heard of that club?
Woo! Woo!
It's like the seedy gay club in Tulsa. So he's DJing, he calls me up. He's like, hey man, what are you doing tonight? I'm like, nothing. He's like, man, you should come out. I'm DJing at Renegades. And I'm like, man, I don't know. It's right before payday. I don't know if I want to spend my night at the gay club. He's like, dude, dress up. Guys will buy you drinks. I'm like, all right. My clothes, getting all pressed, looking fine. Show up, drinking my beer, trying to look sexy and straight. Buy me a drink, maybe I'll change my mind. It did not work. So I'm walking over to the bar, and these two guys stop me. They're like, hey, we got a bet. I'm like, all right, what's your bet? We got a bet you're not coming. I'm like, well, I'm straight and flattered, and I'm Jewish if that helps you out. And I go to the bar and I order a drink. This guy comes up behind me and slaps me on the ass. Now I'm not talking about like, hey, how you doing, buddy? I'm talking reach back and left that fucking handprint on my left ass cheek. And I got mad. I got pissed. I grew up conservative Baptist from a poor neighborhood. And where I come from, you don't go up behind another man and slap him on the ass without buying him a drink first. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, it's a learning experience for me. Anybody believe in ghosts? Yeah. A lot of people like ghosts. I'm such a skeptic. I am a real skeptic about that. And I have a friend of mine, he's always trying to convince me that this house is haunted. And he's like, man, dude, my house is so haunted. One time, my family were all sitting in the living room, there's a big noise in the bathroom. And when we ran in there, nothing was broken. Okay, yeah, that's shares my proof. He goes, well, okay, so check this out. You cannot contend with this. This is solid. He goes, I was asleep in my bed, and I felt like one of my cats crawling up my body. And I'm sleeping, so I just push him off. I go back to sleep, and I felt the cat crawling up my body again. And so I got, irritated because I'm trying to sleep. I got up, turned the lights, like, all right, you're in here, out. And I looked through my door, and there's my 2 cats asleep in the next room. And I'm like, you're right. That had to be a ghost. There he was, sticking his little ghost penis up your body. While you're sleeping. Think about it. Where do you think night groceries come from? Why is my mouth so dry in the morning? Ghost penis. That's what that's all about. I'm kind of surprised there's only one kind of dick joke tonight. And I love dick jokes. I know they're not very popular. Like, dick jokes are like almost the oldest form of comedy. There was Stick. Somebody fell down and tripped, and that guy fell down and tripped, and everybody laughed. And then there was a big dick joke right afterwards. And so, I like to tell some good dick jokes. It's a fine tradition of men passed down from father to son. It's like, my dick is so big, I can only travel by train. My dick is so big, it takes 4 seconds and 18 flights just to jack me off. My dick is so big, my dick has a dick, and my dick's dick is bigger than your dick. It's a fine tradition, so I ask myself, why don't women tell big vagina jokes? And women are always like, well, because it's not cool to have a big vagina. I'm like, well, you can only go so far with a small vagina. My vagina is so small, I don't even have one. That's as far as you can go. So I'd like to submit to you some big vagina jokes. My vagina is so big, I gotta buy my maxi pads at Mathis Brothers. Woo! My vagina is so big, every time I get my period, the weather service gives it a name. My vagina is so big, I don't have a gynecologist. I've got a spelunking team. I think my lady should use that. Alright, I think that's my time.
You were wonderful.
I'll keep going.